Regulation 7 of the LI 2111 must verify identity through biometric authentication against National Identity Database, that's the National Identity Register, or through match-on card verification using devices approved by the National Identification Authority. Organizations may not request, rely on, retain, or reproduce a photocopy, a scanned copy, or image of a Ghana card for verification purposes, and may not use any biometric method other than that which has been approved by the National Identification Authority.
Welcome back to GTV Breakfast. Good morning. I am Thelma Taki. It's good to be back on your screens. Thank you for all the messages that you did send across. I read every single one, and I'm happy to be back. But you just heard the Interior Minister talking about the National Identity Register Amendment Regulations 2026, as it was announced by the Minister Honorable Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, and it aims to enhance identity management through updated data standards, improved verification processes, and expanded digital integration. These regulations empower the National Identification Authority, NIA, to strengthen national security, streamline public service delivery, and support e-governance initiatives. And the amendments likely address issues such as biometric data accuracy, citizen enrollment efficiency, and privacy standards in line with evolving technological and legal framework. So institutions that fail to comply with these regulations risk sanctions, including fines and the suspension or termination of access to the NIA's identity verification system. This morning, we've been joined by the Executive Secretary of the NIA to answer some of our questions, hopefully, and some of yours on this particular new direction that the NIA is taking the country on. And I have the pleasure of welcoming Wisdom Kweku Deku to the table. Wisdom, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Very well. How are you?
Good to have you join us. So I've used my Ghana card for years, as I'm sure many Ghanaians out there watching us this morning have done. And seemingly, there have been no problems. Why is government suddenly saying it's no longer enough?
Okay. Good morning and good morning to your viewers. You know, the NIA is mandated by law. We are mandated to register Ghanaians here and abroad, including foreigners. Now, in 2012, we passed the LI 2111. That is the regulations that governs the NIA. As part of the regulations, Regulation 7 talks about the mandatory use of the Ghana card. So if you read Regulation 7.1, it says that the national identity card issued to an individual shall be used to perform transactions where identity is required. So it goes ahead to list all those transactions, including opening bank accounts. I'm sure that if you go to the banks, they ask you of your Ghana card, DVLA, acquiring driver's license. You talk about insurance, and a whole lot of SIM card registration, and a whole lot of things. Now, if you look at sub-regulation 3 of 7, it says that individuals who issue that card, the organization shall demand that the person present the Ghana card. Now, we've noticed that presenting the Ghana card is not enough. What that means is that if you, Thelma, I get your Ghana card and I'm able to fake it or clone it, I can take it to any bank or any other place to use it to perform transaction without your knowledge.
The Ghana card that has my picture on it.
Yes.
How can you clone it?
Yes. We are in an AI world. And if I tell you the number of cards we've received that are fake, and you agree with me that this SIM card registration, that was even done. A lot of people have complained that their Ghana cards have been used to register SIM cards without their knowledge. So what we took forward as an organization was that the best practice, global practice, is to do biometric verification. So we started with engaging our stakeholders, then went to meet the parliamentary legislative committee. Then finally it was laid in Parliament. Now, what this new LI is, LI 2523 amendment seeks to do is to make biometric verification mandatory. And it goes that anybody that goes ahead to do photocopy of the Ghana card or even do ocular or visual inspection of the Ghana card without doing the biometric verification commits an offense.
Okay, break that down. ocular, and we heard the minister saying all these things. It means that if I go into a bank, for example, and they need to be sure that I am the person I claim I am, I don't hand over my card anymore?
Okay, no. You hand over your Ghana card to them. Now, when you go to the bank, for example, me personally, I have my PIN in my head already. So when I get to the bank, all that I'll do is I'll mention my Ghana card to you, my PIN number to you. When anybody asks of your Ghana card, the person wants to know the number so that he will enter it into the system and do biometric verification, either facial recognition or the fingerprint. So if you hand it over to the person is just reading the phone number. The PIN,
card number.
The card number. Others have decided to have it on their phone so that they don't hand the physical card to the person. So it is not that you will not give the Ghana card to the person who is going to attend asking for it. You give it to the person, but make sure that the person does not take a picture of it or just say that, okay, Thelma, I've looked on the picture of the card. Yes, it's you. So I've verified you. So go away. No, that is not it. Because one risk is that at that point, when you do the biometric verification, you are giving your consent to the person that they should access your data and perform the transaction with you. Now, if you allow the person to do a photocopy of your Ghana card and keep a copy, then you leave the bank, you don't know what that person uses that photocopy for without your knowledge. So that is what we are trying to kill, where identity theft is the biggest issue in this country. Where people uses people's documents. And if I tell you, I keep saying about my friend who lost about 1.5 million Ghana cedis, just because that he refused to do a verification, but relied on photocopy of that person. And that person was not even aware that his Ghana card has been photocopied and presented for a transaction. Yeah.
And shouldn't the institutions that are taking the data be the ones being cautioned, or shouldn't they be the ones being retrained on how to verify and access our information? Why is the government presenting this to the regular person on the street?
So it's not for only the regular person, as you said. It's for both the organization and the individual. I say it's a win-win. And the minister said that this is not a trap for anyone. I'm sure that you will not be happy that you sit here and the next morning you hear that the police pick you up. Why? Reason. We found that there was a scam, somebody was scammed and your identity was used. By the time they realized it was not you, you have been in cells of being disgraced for. So government, this thing started, the verification started in 2022. The verification, so far we have over 167 companies or organizations onboarded onto the NIA verification. And since the minister announced it, we've received over 200 applications so far on our system, and our team are working on it. The issue is that government is just strengthening what was passed in 2012, that it should be mandatory that you do biometric verification instead of doing the ocular or the visual inspection of the Ghana card. So we just want to protect individuals and also protect the organization so that nobody can scam them. Like I said with my friend who lost about 1.5 million cedis.
I wonder what kind of business your friend is into, but maybe I'll get those details later. So with the announcement has been made and with the coming into force of the LI 2523, what would be different when, and I'll use the bank again, when a Ghanaian walks into a bank? If they ask for your card, you hand it over. What is your responsibility as the card holder, the owner of the card, and what is the responsibility of the service delivery partner?
I'm happy we are mentioning the banks, and on this note, let me thank the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Bankers Association. In fact, when it comes to the enforcement of the biometric verification, one of the companies that have done so well is the banks. The universal banks, all the 23 universal banks are onboarded onto the NIA verification platform. And for there, when you go there, they insist on biometric verification. And so as a customer who walks into a bank, there are two things. Basically, when you get to the teller or whoever you are there to see, what the person will demand from you is your PIN. If the person asks of the Ghana card, the person is only asking to read the PIN on the Ghana card so that you'll be able to do the verification against the National Identity Register. And the minister was clear on this, that you should insist in protecting your privacy. Insist that nobody scan your Ghana card and keeps a copy, or somebody do by visual inspection of your Ghana card and says that you are the true owner. So when you do the biometric, you are protecting yourself, and when the bank does do the biometric verification, they are also protecting their company against any scam.
So can you still present the photocopy of your card to the service provider?
You yourself, the individual, you are not even allowed to do photocopy. That's why I'm saying that you can't present it to them. What you need to do is that it's your PIN that they need. There's, you know, the SIM card registration. I will excuse the SIM card registration. For them, their system works differently. You know, previously, what they do is they do what we call the match on card, where you have to present your card physically. So that they will scan the card. They will do what we call the near field transmission, that is NFC, to scan and get a copy of your data from your card onto their system. So with the mobile telecoms and MTN and others, you need to present your physical card and not a photocopy of the card, of your Ghana card, or the PIN, because they need to scan it, the card itself, and get your data. I'm sure when we start with the new SIM card registration, it's not going to be the same thing. They too will now do the PIN for you to do the verification. But for now, apart from the telcos, I don't know any organization that it's mandatory for you to give your physical card to them.
Yeah, and even the Momo transaction that required you to present your Ghana card was also scrapped along the way, so that that barrier is no longer there. But just to educate our viewers, take us through what the old law presented and what the new one aims to kill. We've talked about under the previous law, institutions were often allowed to accept visual inspection and photocopies of the Ghana card, and now the stipulation is that it is only biometric or electronic verification that it is now mandatory, that can be used for identity verification. And so simply looking at the card is no longer enough. What other stipulations does the new law provide that go against or that differ from the old LI?
Okay, so as I indicated earlier, the old one was just saying present your Ghana card to the organization. And it went, if you look at the regulation 9 of LI 211, it only talks about if you've approached me and I see that I have doubt about your identity, that's only when I have to do your biometric verification. But the new law has scrapped all of them. What it's saying is that biometric verification is mandatory, and anybody who do visual inspection or ocular inspection of the Ghana card or do photocopy of the Ghana card commits an offense and is liable to a penalty unit of about, I think, 500 to 1,000 penalty units. That is, and you know, a penalty unit is about 12. So you can do your calculation if you are found guilty of that. Then it went ahead to also say that now, if you are working, you're walking around and a law enforcement officer or any officer authorized by the authority asks of your Ghana card, you are mandated to surrender the card to that law enforcement officer to scan, to check whether the card is valid.
So the police can scan the card?
Yes, can scan the cards to check whether the card is valid. You are not producing a fake card. And as part of our amendment of our 707 and 750 Act, which is almost getting ready for cabinet approval, we are proposing to integrate the National Identification Authority, our system, into the security agencies, so that at any point in time that the security or law enforcement officers suspect anybody, they can write on the card. So at any point that you do the biometric verification, you'll be seeing that this person is a suspect and that person can be apprehended too. So this law is not only for, again, this law is not only for the organization, as an individual too. So for example, if somebody have sent me to you to come and deliver something to you, and I come to you and you say that, okay, Wisdom, can I have your Ghana card to confirm whether it is you?
Yeah.
And you also take the Ghana card and do a photocopy or do visual inspection, you have also committed
So what should hospitals and schools do then? Because these institutions rely on identity verification.
Yes. All that they need to do is to write to the NIA, that is ID verification at nia.gov.gh, to request to be onboarded onto our verification platform. And we have a team, that's a dedicated team that will attend to them and take them through the process to be onboarded onto the...
Share the handle with me once again.
ID verification at nia.gov.gh. and they will be onboarded onto the NIA verification. Now, when you're onboarded, there are basically two things that you may, either you get the API, that is application programming interface, or a biometric device that you can use to do offline verification and others. And so, for example, if GBC here, as part of your daily operations, you require that individuals present their Ghana card for verification. You are required by the new law that you write to the NIA to be onboarded onto our verification platform, so that either we give you the API or you go in for the biometric devices to do your verification of your customers.
At what cost?
Okay, the cost, we've tiered the cost. That was the fees and charges passed by Parliament. So we've tiered it. So from 0 to about 100,000, you are doing one cedi 70 pesos per hit.
100,000.
0 to 100,000 hits.
Okay.
So, for example, if GBC, your daily operations, you verify about 0 to 100,000 people in a month. You'll be billed 1 cedi 70 pesos per person.
Okay.
If you go to 101 to 500,000, it's about 1 cedi 50 pesos. 501 to 1 million. So it is tiered. And if you visit
anytime you go into the system to verify someone, there's a 1 cedi 70 pesos
to that effect. Charge. So that is one is data transfer. So for example, if at first point of verification, based on the agreed during the onboarding processes, we agreed that okay, GBC, we will give you the person's full name, the date of birth, the gender, and the phone number. And at any point in time that person do the verification, we transfer that data to your system. When we do that,
but that's not biometric data.
No, when you do the biometric.
Okay.
When you do the biometric, then your data will pop up and it will be transferred.
And biometric can be in the form of the photograph.
Yeah,
so
photograph,
facial
your picture,
recognition.
facial recognition, or your fingerprints,
okay.
or even the iris. You consider when you get the NIA, you put something like you are watching something. Mm-hmm. So all of them are biometric. So once you do that, then data transfer. So we have data transfer price and we have yes or no. So based on maybe GBC operations, they say that, okay, if you verify the person for the first time and the data is transferred to us, the next time the person comes to do verification again, we don't want his data again. We just want to see whether the person is the right person or not. So you do what? Yes or no.
Okay.
So that one also, it's about 30 pesos per yes or no. But the disadvantage on that part is that, for example, if, NIA database is supposed to be dynamic. So if after doing the first data transfer, you've come to NIA to do maybe change your name, mm-hmm. or maybe change your date of birth or any other thing.
Because I was about to ask, so what does it mean for corrections? And if you want to change, like I say, names and all that?
No, for changing of name, that one is solely on the NIA. You can't do it at the organization mm-hmm. side. And for them, that one, I think it's clear. You need to go swear affidavit and go and do gazette for a name change and go to any of our NIA offices to perform that function. But it is important to state here that if I did my first registration at Kaswa, mm-hmm. and I want to change my name, and it's not necessary I have to go to Kaswa again. I can go to any of the registration centers to do that update.
Okay, so the organizations have to write to the NIA, and you can do this digitally mm-hmm. or online, ID verification at nia.gov.gh. This cost, there are some institutions that will pass them on eventually to the consumer.
Yes.
Is that the approved NIA way?
No, for NIA is charging the organization. Mm-hmm. How the organization works on
recoups
the money. But you see, it is important
them.
that it's a win-win for the customer and organization. Because if you don't do the biometric verification, the KYC, know your customer, what it means is that you don't know whether you are dealing with the right person or not. So, for example, if I walk into the bank and I'm holding thermos, I go and get a lady who looks just like you and walk into your bank and present the Ghana card. The Ghana card they don't do the biometric verification, and they're able to give the money to that person. You go there, you go and ask, I was not the one who came there.
So is the NIA doing this to generate revenue?
No,
or is it doing it to protect really?
My minister details. Always talks about, it's not about the revenue, it's about the security. The security of the country, the security of the customer, and the security of the organization. So it's a win-win for all. NIA win, the customer win, and the organization also win.
What are the timelines? And let me welcome our guests to join our conversation. Across social media, we are GTV Ghana and also Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. If you do have some questions or queries, send them across to us. Our WhatsApp number is also active and live, 055 5561034, 055 5561034. NIA Executive Secretary Wisdom Kwekudeko is our guest and he's answering some of our questions. It's time for you to also send us some of yours. So, how is the NIA addressing challenges in rural areas and hard to reach communities is one of the questions that we have received.
In terms of the registration of the verification?
In terms of registration for the Ghana card.
Okay.
And when the next phase will take place, because now, schools are on vacation now.
Yes, for now we are in all the districts across the country and in all the regions. Yes, I understand some district centers may be far away from some of the communities. So we are linking up with the DCs and the MPs, and some of them have approached the NIA and written to us for us to do the rural registration. So we've done some for some MPs and districts, and we hope to do more. Now, when it comes to, when we started in 2018, we were doing the 15 years and above. And so far, when we finished with the mass registration, then we set up the districts and the regional offices. About 3 months ago, we started with the 6 to 14 years. We started from Volta, Oti, and ended up at the northern region, where we visited all the public and private schools to do the registration, except the secondary schools is from primary, JHS, where we finished with them. And we are finished, we are on break now. We want to do an assessment. And again, we are on break because schools are also on vacation. And if you check, our centers are basically the schools. So we are hoping to resume when the schools to resume in September, where we are going to do the registration. So for the hard to reach communities, the district offices are there, and I'll encourage the DCs and the MPs to write to the NIA so that we have what we call the household registration. So we have a mobile team that can move to all those places to register. And again, people who don't want to walk to our district offices or walk to the regional offices can make a request for mobile registration, where at the comfort of their home, then I will come there and do the registration. So GBC, if you think that some of your members have not registered, and instead of leaving job and going to join queues to do the registration, management can make a request to NIA, and we will bring our mobile team here to come and register all your people.
At some cost.
Definitely.
Because movement is fuel and things, logistical moves.
Yes.
What about Ghanaians in the diaspora?
Okay, so we are mandated to also register Ghanaians in the diaspora. So far, we are in about 13 countries. I think the recent one to be added was Spain, and they finished with the registration. For theirs, they do it purely on the online, using the online platform. That is register.nia.gov.gh. So interviews are done online by our staff here in Ghana. They will interview you. You'll fill your form online. You book your appointment online. Everything is done online. So you only visit the registration center for your biometric donation and printing of the card instantly. But it is important to state that per our laws, we are supposed to set up the registration centers at our high commissions. And our high commission. So we are mostly we are now in USA, Washington, and New York. When you go to London, we are the Highgate High Commission. We are in Germany. We are in France. We are in Canada. We are in a whole lot of other countries. But if you visit the center, our website, ni.gov.gh, or even you make an attempt to register at the register.ni.gov.gh, you see all the countries that we are.
It will ask you which country you want to register from.
Yeah. So if your country is not there, then hold on, we will come there very soon.
Or go to a country where the service is available. What's the fee structure like these days? Because when you get your card initially, it's supposed to be free. But then there are some charges that may be applied depending on certain situations.
Okay,
walk us through those.
So we have the district centers, we have the regional centers that are mostly the premium centers. And from 1st August, we are adding what we call the Prestige 24/7 hour registration. Now I'll go to the fees. Now the district offices, if you are above 25 years and you're going to register for the first time, you'll pay 30 cedis as processing fee.
If you're above
25 years.
Okay.
And you're going to
First-time
first timer,
registration.
and you're going to register at the district office. You pay only 30 cedis. But if you are below 25, it's free of charge.
But when they did the mass registration, which is when some of us registered, it was free.
Yes, it was free. Now, what we decided to, as a government, was that this operation has been on for a long time. So if at this stage somebody does not want to register, it means that person does not want to register at all. So, and you know, even the 30 cedis that we are charging, it's not the cost of the card. It's still a subsidy, but it's just a processing fee that the person is
What
paying.
are you processing?
Your data. So it's just 30 cedis. And if you are below 25 years, it's free of charge.
So all the schools registrations that you're doing,
it's free.
There are no
For
charges for that.
I think up to the university, it's only university that you pay, because if you look at the age, secondary school is free of charge, but if they're above, that's when you have to pay. Now, if at the district you decide that you've lost your card and you want to go for replacement, you pay 200 cedis.
Okay.
If you are going to do an update.
Why is that 200 and not 30?
Which one?
Why is the replacement 200 and not 30?
You are supposed to handle your card very well.
Okay.
Yes, you're supposed to handle your card very well. So these are, I don't want to use that word.
What if flood water took place?
That one is different. We can do some CSR for you, but we are not there yet. So that is it. So if you are going to do an update to at the district offices, also 200. But it is worth note that NIA, we don't take physical cash. If you visit any of our registration center and anybody asks you to give the physical cash to the person, that means that person wants to take your money for free. If you want to register, the payment is done via a short code, *771#. Or you use the CarBank app to do the payment. We don't take physical cash. Now, if the person decides that I don't want to go to the district office, I want to go to our premium centers. From premium centers, from 6 years and above, whether first time, you'll pay 410 cedis. That's for premium. If you decide to do replacement at the premium, you pay 520. If you are going to do update, it's 410. And that's why we are saying that in all of these, we don't take physical cash. When you type *771#, it will take you through the process, and the amounts are clearly stated there. All that you need to make sure that you have Momo on your phone, then it will do the deductions for you to proceed.
But if you want to go the regular route, you either pay 30 cedis at the district office or you pay 200 cedis at the same office for a replacement.
Yes. But you don't pay physical cash. I am stressing this because we receive a lot of calls. People I took 1,000 cedis. The question I ask is that if you are using our short code, there's nowhere we've stated 1,000 cedis as our fee. So definitely that person gave physical cash to the person. Yeah.
All right. Now talk about the Prestige 24-hour service.
Okay, so the Prestige is a 24-hour service. What we came out was that as part of government policy, we also want to make sure that not to inconvenience companies. There was a friend of mine who on Saturday lost his Ghana card and wanted to get a new SIM card. But unfortunately, we don't work on Saturdays, so the person had to wait till Monday, and he was traveling too. So we decided that why don't we do this 24/7, where people after 5 o'clock, after normal working days, they can go to any of our centers to do the registration. So that one, you pay the regular 410 as a first registration. Then when you get to the Prestige Center, they will charge additional 250 cedis as service charge for that. So that will be...
Which you also have to pay online.
Yes, that one you pay online.
Okay.
That one you pay. We announced it's a link, a service on our website, which we will communicate to the public very soon.
Are there waivers for whether it's students, vulnerable groups?
Yes, there are waivers. When you write, the executive secretary can waive some. But it depends. For example, if NIA moves out of our office and we are coming to do mobile registration, we are to charge you as a premium service. But the executive secretary can say that maybe a vulnerable person, let's charge the person the district fee so that we don't inconvenience people.
I have told you that Wisdom is the executive secretary, so he's the one that you need to send your waiver requests to, so that you can get some leeway. I've seen that some of you are calling the WhatsApp line. Please do send a message instead, so that we can read it out loud to Mr. Deku here to find some answers for you. Here is one. So, no Ghana card, no service. Which institutions can legally demand it now, and which ones cannot?
Come again with the question.
It says, if someone says no Ghana card, no service,
Yes.
which institutions can now legally demand the Ghana card, and
Yes.
which ones cannot demand it?
So, if you look at the regulation 2111, it talks about the transactions where identity is required. So, in general, where organizations that, as part of their operations, they demand for the Ghana card, that means they need to do the biometric verification. Yes. So, all organizations.
So, the police can demand your Ghana
Yes,
card.
they can demand.
But can they keep it?
No, they can't keep it.
Because there's a whole driver's license.
No, they can't keep
thing
it. They are not supposed to keep it. If they ask of your Ghana card, it means that they want to read on the Ghana card to check to see whether there is data on your card or is fake or what. They can't keep your Ghana card. Any Ghana card that is found, if it's sent to the police or the media organization, those cards are supposed to return back to the authority.
Okay. Someone is asking, if your card gets missing and you go for a new card and later find the old one, can I keep the two cards, or do I have to return one to the authorities?
The moment a new card is issued to you, the old one is deactivated.
Okay.
Yes.
So it becomes just
you can't
cosmetic.
Use it you can't use it.
All right. So do send your questions across to 05555610034. Mr. Wisdom Kweku Deku is our guest from the NIA, the Executive Secretary, and he's answering some of our questions. So people are very concerned about where the data is stored. So who can access the data on the National Identity Register? And what's the consent process for that data to be released? You said that organizations can ask to be linked to some of the data for verification purposes. How does the NIA ensure that the data that perhaps GBC would request for is used purposely for what GBC requested it for, and not for anything else?
That's a very critical question. As part of our onboarding process, one of the primary documents we request from the organization is their data protection certificates, so that to make sure that they are data protection compliance. So if you don't have it, we will not grant you the onboarding process. And once you get it, we've recently, about 2 months ago, we issued guidelines on retention of data, where we said that after for a certain period, based on the Data Protection Authorities Act, you can retain a certain data for a certain period after you have used it. And as I indicated earlier, the moment you give your consent biometrically, not visual inspection or photocopy, it means that you have agreed that a certain data be transferred from the NIA system onto the organization's system for only their operational purposes, not to do any other thing. And so it's just the data. And don't forget, we are not transferring your whole data, your mother's name, your father's name. We are transferring just basically what the two parties have agreed, and you are supposed to retain it for a certain period, and after that you have to discard it.
Okay. How will the NIA prevent identity theft, fraud, and duplication under the new rules?
Do biometric verification.
Okay.
Biometric verification is the only way out, and that's why my brother, the Honorable Minister for Minister of Communication, has been talking about. If you want to protect anybody's data, it has to be biometric. All of us have been complaining about this SIM card. Somebody is using my SIM card. Somebody has registered with my Ghana card and all those things. It's just because we failed to do the biometric verification. And before coming here, I was showing you a video where I think Joy News called one of these restaurants, Frosters, and the person was talking about, send me money and I'll be able to deliver the food for you. If that person has been biometrically verified onto the NIA system, it's easy to track that person.
But for all the years that we've been doing these, lines of protection, why do we still have those instances where fraudsters are able to use these same structures that we are trying to make more robust to scam people?
The answer is simple. No biometric verification was done. If you give the biometric verification But if you do biometric verification, then it means that the person who registered is the true owner of that Ghana card. But if you do visual inspection or photocopy, if I get your Ghana card here, your Ghana card, a photocopy of your Ghana card, and I give it to somebody who looks like you, or if you're a twin, and you know, God is so great that even if you're a twin, the only thing future that differentiates between you and your twin brother or sister is your biometrics.
Yeah, the fingerprints will be different.
Exactly.
So now all institutions have to have these devices or the means of doing this. And you've said that there's an API system and there's also a process where you give a certain device.
Yes.
So now all institutions must
all institutions are. In fact, in October 2025, government issued a moratorium where it gave 6 months for all government institutions to be onboarded onto the NIA verification platform. So that process, NIA started engaging all these government institutions, and most of them are onboarded now. So you can't do photocopy if you do it.
And do all of them have the devices?
Either you have the device or you have the API integrated into your system so that you can do facial verification. But I think it is important we have to take note of this. Even though the law has come into force, as the minister clearly stated, we want to put the human face to it. Because if you are to start now, it means that a lot of people will be arrested and taken to court for failing to go by the law.
So what's the grace period?
So the grace period will begin in 3 months. That was starting from yesterday to 2nd November. After that, we've set up a biometric verification task force who are going to work closely with the law enforcement officers, so that what we'll do is that we'll be moving around. So we'll be coming, GBC will be the first.
So it's a task force.
A task force.
We'll be monitoring.
So GBC will be the first organization we will visit. It will be a friendly visit.
Okay.
Yes. To see whether you are compliant.
We are largely compliant
That's
to
great.
That's great. Many laws that have been sent
Happy
to
to
us.
hear that.
I think that some of you have sent some messages. So, Wisdom, I will just scoot over to the screen and
sure.
I'll read some of them out loud. If you need to take note of them, then you may, so that we can. Oh, I hear Jay is at the screen. Jay, excellent, even better. Jay, what are people saying, and what questions do they have for Wisdom?
Thank you so much, and good morning to you once again. Here are your messages and your questions. This one says, good morning. Please, I registered with my passport during the registration, but I missed one letter of my surname. Do I give the correct spelling by my passport? What do I do? And this is coming from Uncle Atso.
Okay, yes. A mistake in the person's name.
Okay, so there are two things. If the mistake was done by our officer, for example, this one, he says he registered with his passport, and then they omitted one of the name.
The letter.
The letters. So if the letter, the passport has the correct name, and the letter was an omission from our staff, he has to go to any of our registration centers, because that passport was scanned into the system, and the registration form too was scanned into our system. So the officers will look at it, and if the fault is from us, the person will just he does not need to go and do Gazette again, because the fault is from our officers. That is why at any point in time that we finish the registration, a form, a slip, and ask you to go through. Maybe he didn't go through it, so but he can walk to any of our offices for these corrections to be done.
Okay.
All right.
Jay,
there are quite a number of them. Thelma, Sedeku, I'll crave your indulgence. You just note it down while I read a host of them. So I can answer it at a go.
Perfect.
Good. Yeah, let's do this. So this one says, good morning, GTV Ghana. Regarding personal information and date of birth updates, after obtaining a sworn affidavit, Gazette publication, and a biometric birth certificate, why do some NIA centers still require additional supporting documents such as BEC certificate?
Oh.
Why is the update refused if applicants cannot provide those documents? And this is coming from Hayford. So move on to our next one. This one says, kindly help me ask when they will be paying us. Weeks after working in the northern region, we are yet to be paid. This one has no name, but I see Cyril Ayusu over there. And this one says, please, if the picture on my card is not clear or looks bad, can I change it? Yes. Okay. Good morning. NIA, should I rather educate the public on how to handle our Ghana cards instead of subtly escorting money from the public? I'm not sure I get the gist of the message, but that's come from Nana. My son's name was wrongly spelled. How can he correct this? This comes from Philip NER, Northeast Region, I believe. Good morning. Please, what if I want to correct my date of birth and NIA requests my birth certificate and BEC and still they are requesting a certified statement result. How are you going to do that, please? And this comes from Hakeem Obuasi. Yes.
Okay, so we have quite a few. One person said they are asking for supporting documents, including BEC certificates.
Okay, so Thelma, you and I were born only once. What we've realized is that some people, they say football age.
They were born twice.
Some people want
Born
to travel
again.
and they'll go and change their date of birth, and they come back to NIA and they want to come and change their date of birth or the birth again. Date of birth is something that we don't do it easily. And you can't go and do Gazette to come and change your date of birth. Gazette is only for name change. Now, if you register for your Ghana card today and your date of birth is 1980, the following day, tomorrow, you can go to birth and death and go and change it to 1983 and bring that birth certificate to NIA for them to change the name.
But some people have presented, they've come into wrong dates of birth because the month and the day of the birth were switched at some point. So instead of 15th April 1985, the 04 was brought forward and the 15 was put somewhere.
If the fault is from the NIA, and as I said earlier, when you bring those documents back to us, we can correct it for you. But what I'm trying to say is that you can't do your Ghana card today, and after that, go and do a different birth certificate and bring it to us for us to change it to you for you. No.
That's when you ask for the BEC.
The BEC, because it's the older, we need an older document, valid document that is older than the Ghana card. So for example, your BEC certificate. The reason behind is that as at the time you were going to do the BEC, you didn't know that you would go and play football. You didn't know that your uncle Bill wanted to come and take you outside. So that's why we will insist on the BEC certificate or any other valid document to prove that. So a lot of people ask, my mother now found that I was born on this day. How did your mother get to know that? We need a documentary fact. Because you see, when we compromise the database of us and the NIA, then we've compromised everything. So it is important for date of birth is something, in fact, beginning from next month, date of birth are not going to be instant again. It will take a while because we need to do a lot of investigation before we do the corrections for you.
But even after you've submitted that BEC certificate, how long should it take? Because one person said they've taken the certificate and they are still not.
It's instant unless there are issues that has to be referred to the CID. You know, we have CIDs at our regional offices and our headquarters. So unless he has presented some documents that needs further investigation, that one, our officers will refer the matter to the CID to do further investigation.
One person who sounds like he may be one of your team members in the northern region is asking when they'll pay.
I'm sure this week they'll pay. We have everything ready. You know, when they finish the registration, they normally do the filling of the form attendance. We have to compile it and take it to audit to make sure that everything is. The process has completed last week, and I'm sure this week they will pay them.
Okay, so that's for you. Can you change? I like this question because sometimes the picture they took 10 years ago is no longer a true reflection of who you are.
Visit any of our district or regional or premium centers, and you can change your picture.
For how much?
District will be 200 cedis. This will be 200 cedis. You see, when you are updating any primary documents, any information on the card, you will pay. But if you are going to update your residential address, your phone number, those they don't appear on the Ghana card, it's free of charge at the district offices. But if you are going to change your name, your picture, your date of birth, those ones appear on the Ghana card, so you pay for that.
You've just brought a matter to mind because it means that for those who rent, for example, who have moved residences since the registration was done, they need to go to the center and tell them.
You bring my mind to something that I need to say. I think that is the Act 750, Section 39, where it talks that if your circumstance change within 30 days, and you've not gone to NIA to make changes, you commit an offense and you can go to prison for 6 months.
Oh.
So if you were staying at Kaswa and today you're at Tema and you've not alerted NIA that your residential status have changed, you commit an offense and you can go to prison for 6 months. In fact, it's not only your residential address. If you are single and now you are married, if your parents were alive and they are no more, your phone number has changed, you were a tertiary institution and you are now working.
At this point, I'm just looking towards the door to see if there's a police officer coming, because
You see, the issue is that
all of
it
us.
helps government for planning, purpose of planning. So that, for example, if we know all those who are unemployed, if you are unemployed and now you are employed, you have to notify NIA. So that as part of government planning, you will know that total number of people who are not unemployed, total number of people are employed, so that it will help government in planning. And it's on the first. And you know, the reason why we've not activated that is that because we want to make it convenient for people. We don't want you to go enjoy another queue at the district and premium centers. And as part of the things I've tasked my IT and tech and bio department is that by September, we will have an online system where at the comfort of your home, you can do those, you can make requests for those changes. But if not,
but not for the date of birth.
No. It's for those ones are for secondary data.
Okay.
That those that do not appear on the Ghana card. So if you are single and you are married, or you are married and you are divorced, and now you've not notified the NIA about your circumstance, you commit an offense. Within 30 days, you commit an offense and you can go to prison for 30 days, for 6 months.
Play we are playing. It not reach there. Has it come? So what if you know of someone who has passed away? What responsibility do you have to notify the NIA of a deceased
for passing
relative
away,
or loved one?
I think those one we are linking up with the birth and death because they have the authority to do that. And once we integrate into them, definitely we'll be able to take those people out. Because if you are to say that, if you know of any relative, bring it in, and somebody will go and tell you that this man is dead, and we will just take the person out from our system. So those ones has to be a process that has to go through.
One of the messages talked about subtly taking money from the public instead of educating people on how to handle the Ghana card. Do you have a response?
We've been educating the people on it. We are not taking money from you. We are doing the registration, and you are mandated to do it. And you have to go to the district offices to do it. And it's free of charge if you are below 25 years. It's up to you. It's an option for you to go to the premium centers to do the registration. And for the education on how to handle the Ghana card, it's something that we are going to take up very seriously. In fact, even the publicity and everything, the corporate affairs has been given that task that by the close of this year, they should come up with some budget so that we factor into our 2027 budgets so that we can do a lot of public education on the prestige, the verification, and a whole lot of things.
All right. Jay has another round of questions, and we'll take them now.
For a few moments there, it was quite scary. You know?
You're also guilty of something.
Until you heard that...
oh, it hasn't been, enforced yet. So I was like, oh, yes, then we are safe.
Okay.
All right. So this one says, my card is damaged. How much will it cost me to replace it? Yes. And this one says, good morning. Please, can an organization photocopy your card as a form of verification? Because some organizations I visit want to photocopy my Ghana card. I think we've spoken about it. He will rehash it again. Well explained by Mr. Wisdom. But if we have to keep updating them on our relocation, marital status, and so on, I suggest that they give us a self-service option to do so, because having to go to them every now and then is wild. But he says by September they'll roll out the online option, so you get to do that from the comfort of your home. And moving on to another message, which says, I think I've read this one there. Yeah, okay. Good morning. Please ask if I want to add a name, how much will it cost? Yes.
Add a name.
I asked and I said, good morning, Ghana. Please, can someone add a husband's surname to a name on the Ghana card if she was not married at the initial registration process, but now has gotten married? This comes from Solomon from Abuakwa in Kumasi. Solomon, don't worry. You have 30 days to do that. You have 30 days to do that. I'll let them. Good morning, NIA. I've lost my Ghana card, but I have a soft copy on my phone. Please, can I go to NIA office with a soft copy to retrieve the hard copy card again? Yes.
Okay. I think we have quite a few. Can we go through? Do you have more?
Okay, this one says the card isn't missing, but the information there is wiping off. Okay. And this one says, good morning, please. NIA have people working with them as contact staff. Please. Okay, I'm not getting this message right. Okay. Please, I realize I renew your Ghana card through a short code on the phone. How true is it? Thanks. to renew your Ghana card on your phone. Good morning. Kindly ask ES of NIA that what happens to field staff after mass registration for children aged 6 to 14 years. Okay. And I also registered my daughter using my Ghana card, but error occurred on my daughter's birthday. Should I also go for gazetting? Yes.
I don't quite get that.
What happens?
What was that last point, Jay?
He used his card to register for his daughter, but there was a mistake with the daughter. Should he still go for gazetting before he can change the information on that?
Right.
And this one says, should I also go for gazetting? And then I was reading this very one. Yeah. So thanks for the education. What happens to those with health challenges and cash money through a relative? I think those are, I think, for the remits.
Okay, let's see if we can
tackle a few of those because there are still a number of them. Thank you so much for your messages. They could respond to some of them now. Yes.
And Jay, maybe we are safe for now. So let's not run away.
We are.
We still have some 30 days.
Oh, 30 days is past it, but so like 2 years.
We are way in the red zone at this point. Okay, so someone said damaged cards.
Yes, he can go. You need to get a police. He said he has a photocopy on his Ghana card, on his phone. No, but you need to go and get damaged card. But is he having the damaged card? If he's having the damaged card, you can go to any of our offices. They will retrieve the
even if the printing is fading off.
Yes. You should just take it to the district. Any of our
offices.
Is
it free?
No, it's not free.
So someone asked, and you've explained this already, about organizations who have requested to take a photocopy of the card, but now under the new law, just rehash it again in case they missed that part
under
of the
conversation. Under the new law, LI 2523, as amended, organizations or companies are restricted not to do photocopy of the Ghana card. They have to do biometric verification, and any organization that do photocopy or do visual or ocular inspection of the Ghana card commit an offense, and they are liable to a summary conviction of 500 to 1,000 penalty units.
Okay, so no photocopy. You can't even photocopy your card yourself. It's against the law to do that. Someone asked if the self-service comment, I think, was noted for the change in circumstances, which we are all guilty of, I'm sure. Can you add a name?
Yes, you can add a name.
By extension, can you remove a name?
Yes, you can add a name. You can remove a name. You have to go through the Ghana Publishing and do your gazette and present it to any of our district offices.
And this includes if you want to add your husband's name to your name, a married name.
That one, you have to include your marriage certificate.
Okay.
Yes.
And still at the district office, and they can print a new one for you.
District or regional offices.
Is it possible to renew the card via phone?
Yes, but we are not yet at the renewal stage. We started in 2018, so renewal will start in 2018. But what we are trying to do... 2028, sorry. What we are trying to do as an organization is to be proactive. So from 2027, we will announce to the public that those whose card will be expiring in 2028 can come forward and start the renewal process, so that we don't get to 2028 where people go and join queue. And don't forget that 2028 too is an election year, so people will be using their Ghana card to go and do registration for voters card and other things. So we want to be proactive before we get there.
Okay, I'll give you, someone asked what happens to your field staff after the registration is over, and then the change in information for their daughter. They said they use their card to quick one before.
So for the field staffs, we are still in the registration process. We are on break. When we finish, we've done only 3 regions now, so it's left with 13 regions. We'll still go around to do the training. The government has allocated money for us to do it for the whole country, so we are going to do it. Then the one who said that he registered and the child date of birth is wrong, we need to find out the documents she presented for the registration, and if the fault is from the NIA, we will definitely correct it for them.
Okay, your final words before we
my final words to first to thank management and the board and my minister, Honorable Muntaka, for gracing the occasion to do that press conference for us. And what is important for us is that let us not be a victim of identity theft. And it is important that you always insist that your Ghana card is biometrically verified and not done visual inspection or photocopy. Thank you very much.
Are we looking forward to a day when all cards will become one? We don't need a passport, a driver's license, national health insurance, NIA,
that is
SNIT.
The aim of the government. And if you realize, now your Ghana card PIN is your NHIS number, it is your SNIT number, it is your TIN number. we are into talks with DVLA and passport, not to make your Ghana card your passport. But what we will intend to do is that at any point in time you use your passport to travel, we will know your Ghana card number. And anytime you use your Ghana card, we'll be able to know your passport number. But for now, what is happening is that because of the if passport feature on your Ghana card, if you are traveling from outside and you're coming to Ghana, your home country, you can use it instead of getting a visa.
Okay. And then
so far as you're a Ghanaian,
the e-wallet conversations are also
that is
ongoing.
something that is ongoing. We're hoping that by next year, it will be done.
Thank you.
Thank you
for the time you spent with us. Wisdom Kweku-Deku is the Executive Secretary of the NIA. He's answered some of our questions and as much of your questions as we had time to take. Another opportunity may present itself and he'll be back to give us some more, or another official from the NIA. Thank you to the entire team for making this possible. I'll hand it over to Jay Gabra now, because we cannot leave without sending massive shouts to all of you who are celebrating the big birthdays. So here is Jay Gabra with your shouts now.
Thank you so much, Thelma. Yeah, the celebrants, yeah, your dedications. Let's begin, shall we? This one says, happy 60th birthday to my mother-in-law, Mrs. Lydia Koko Ayi, and may the good Lord grant you longevity, good health, and more blessings. This comes from your son-in-law, Kofi Atakakrakusi. Happy birthday, ma. And happiest of birthdays to the Member of Parliament for Salaga South constituency, the Honorable Zuwaira Ibrahima. God bless and uplift you to higher heights. Keep making us all proud with your hard work. And this comes from Sule Motiti at GTV. Lily, may happiness follow you wherever you go. May your heart always find peace, and may every step you take lead you closer to your goals. Happy birthday from Nana. Happy glorious birthday reaching out to you, Mrs. Portia Yankra. And this comes from your parents, Kinwal, Wale, Mouse, Maya, Susie Baby, clients, and the entire members of the House of DL Fan Club who are celebrating you today, Portia. Also, a happy birthday to you, Sir Salom of House of DL fame. And this comes from your parents, children, loved ones, and the entire membership of the House of DL Fan Club who see lots of God blessings today, Sir Salom. Happy birthday, Deaconess Suzanne Yaya Kofi. And this comes from your family and loved ones who celebrate you today. And thank you for continuing to inspire everyone around you. Happy birthday going out to you, Catherine. May today be the best day yet, and may this be your best year yet. Happy birthday. Yes, and to you as well, Victor Mensa of Hope, wish you good health and peace. And this comes from Nana Hubert to you. Happy birthday, Unique. May Allah bless your new age, and this coming from Ambition to you. Happy birthday, Auntie Annie. Wishing you a beautiful day with good health and happiness forever. Much love from the entire family. Happy birthday, Miss Mary Ando-Eshan. Wishing you a day filled with joy, love, and beautiful memories. May God bless you with good health, wisdom, peace, and abundant happiness. And to Mr. Eric Abuaje, Mensa District Coordinating Director of Shammah District Assembly, we pray God blesses you immensely, and this comes from all the staff. And to one lady who helps us here, right here at the BFS kitchen, whenever we have to cook on Fridays, from Cake Boutique and Zego. It's your birthday today. Wishing you God's blessings, grace, upliftment, and more wealth, more riches, Charlie. When's the party? We will come for the cake. Yes, because you're coming from Cake Boutique and Deco. And since Thelma is still sitting and watching, that's our show. We'll see you at 5:55 tomorrow, but I'll let her wrap.
So we'll see you again tomorrow, bright and early. Join us then. This has been Breakfast, your favorite way to wake up in the morning. We'll see you tomorrow.
Now your prayer they cover me. No go put me for mortuary. Oh Basima, I will laugh and I hope like me. You, oh no, say you no get caught in that. Oh no, girl I got you for life, for life. Oh I need no go to let me tell baby no dolly. Girl I'm talking to you in particular. This kind of love you know they sing it like. Steady you move like curricular. No, every day they boss in my medulla. This kind of love, you know they see me like steady on move like curricular. On my way.
GTV, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana.
Africa on Tuesdays and Fridays at 4:05 p.m. on GBC News. Within Africa with Multiti. We shall tell our own stories, narrate our own details, watch the continent with our own spectacles and through our own lenses. We shall tell our stories better, the ups and downs, the pleasant and unpleasant without a slant. Stories from Africa, by Africans, told by Africans, understood by the world. All this and more within Africa on Tuesdays and Fridays at 4:05 p.m. on GBC News. Within Africa with Multiti.
It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to the 96th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers, which is being held here in Freetown, Sierra Leone.
As we convene today, my heart is full of hope, yet being mindful of the significant challenges that still confront our region. They should remind us that the strength of ECOWAS lies not only in its institutions, but also in the unity, solidarity, and political will of its member states. This meeting offers another opportunity to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to dialogue, consensus building, and regional cooperation.
This meeting holds special significance for me, as it is the last ordinary session of the Council of Ministers that I have the privilege to address in my capacity as President of the ECOWAS Commission. As we conclude one chapter, our responsibility is to prepare for the next. No institution is built by one individual. Whatever progress we have made over the past 4 years has been the result of our collective commitment to the ideals of regional integration and our shared determination to build a stronger ECOWAS for future generations.
As chair of this auspicious council, I am committed to ensuring that our discussions are inclusive, transparent, focused, and result-oriented. I hereby declare this meeting of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers officially open. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Obrigado.
GBC News, your trusted news channel. GBC News, your trusted news channel.
Hello, welcome to News Highlight on GBC News and GTV. My name is Gifty Iji, and now their stories. The government has dismissed as misleading a viral video circulating on social media that claims to show President John Mahama making controversial remarks about 150 million Ghana cedis. The Minister of State in charge of government communications, Mr. Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, says the president's comments were taken out of context and deliberately resorted to partisan purposes. In a Facebook post on Monday, July 27, Mr. Kwakye-Ofosu explained that the president was referring to the release of 150 million Ghana cedis for post-flood mitigation works during a discussion with the National Security Coordinator. According to the minister, the funds were intended to support flood response and recovery effort, and the remarks had no connection to the claims being circulated. The government is urging the public to disregard the viral video, insisting that it represents a false narrative by misinterpreting the context of the government's comment. And away from that story, the President of the Republic of Gabon, Brice Clotaire Nguema, will pay a 3-day state visit to Ghana from Tuesday, July 28, 2026 to July 30, 2026 at the invitation of President John Mahama. According to a statement issued by the presidency, President Nguema will be accompanied by a high-level delegation comprising government ministers, senior officials, and members of the Gabonese business community. The visit is expected to further strengthen the outstanding relations between Accra and Brazzaville. President Mahama and Nguema will hold bilateral talks at the Jubilee House in Accra on Monday, July 28, 2026. The discussion will review the current state of bilateral relations and explore opportunities to deepen cooperation in areas including political and diplomatic consultations, trade and investment, energy, mining, agriculture, forestry, fisheries, maritime affairs, transport, among others. Now, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has reaffirmed that government appointees who fail to resign from their positions will not be eligible to contest the party's upcoming executive elections. The party says its long-standing directive requiring government appointees to step down before seeking election positions in the party remains in force and will be strictly enforced throughout the electoral process. According to the party, only individuals who are no longer serving in government positions will qualify to file nominations and participate in the internal elections. The NDC also indicated that other reports have emerged suggesting that some appointees have resigned. The party headquarters has yet to receive formal notifications from most of those individuals. It explained that the official status of prospective candidates will be determined during the nomination, filing, and vetting process when evidence of resignation and eligibility will be verified. Now, from that story, the future of sustainable urban development took center stage at the United Nations as world leaders assessed progress on the new urban agenda. Ghana joined the global conversation with a call for stronger action to address the growing pressures of rapid urbanization. Speaking at the high-level meeting, Ghana's Deputy Minister for Local Government, Madam Rita Suwa, said the country has made steady progress in urban governance and economic development over the past decade.
Ghana faces a housing deficit of more than 1.8 million units, with about 37% of the urban population living in informal settlements. These challenges have shaped the country's 4 priority areas as the United Nations reviews progress on the new urban agenda A decade after its adoption, Ghana says it has made significant strides through reforms in governance, planning, and digital innovation.
Multidimensional poverty declined from 24.9% in 2024 to 21.9% in 2025. Access to basic services remains high, with 96.9% access to water, 94.8% to electricity, and 63.4% to sanitation. These gains have been supported by social protection programs, including LEAP, the National Health Insurance Scheme, and the School Feeding Program, as well as key reforms such as the Land Act and the Affirmative Action Act.
Deputy Minister for Local Government, Madam Rita Soa, says Ghana will expand affordable housing and slum upgrading, strengthen local government financing, promote sustainable urban investment, integrate climate resilience into planning, and improve data systems through digital governance. She says these efforts will be implemented in partnership with development partners, the private sector, and local communities.
We will scale up affordable housing and slum upgrading, strengthen local government fiscal capacity, expand sustainable urban financing, integrate climate resilience into planning and infrastructure, and enhance data systems and digital governance.
Madam Soa also called for direct access to climate finance for cities and stronger technical and multilateral cooperation. Ghana's delegation to the high-level political forum included members of parliament and officials from the ministries of local government and works and housing, reaffirming the country's commitment to the new urban agenda and sustainable urban development. For GBC News, Yaira Lawa reporting.
Away from that story, for years, Ghana's roads have paid the price of poorly trained heavy-duty drivers. Today, that gap is closing. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority has taken delivery of a brand new training track donated by UK road safety charity TransAid. The vehicle will be used to train professional heavy-duty vehicle drivers, while the man behind the wheel of articulated trucks and tankers that move goods across the country. For TransAid, it's more than a donation. It is their quota towards saving lives and making Ghana's roads safer, one properly trained driver at a time.
Presenting the track at DVLA head office, Director of Driver Training, Testing and Licensing, Mr. Kafui Semevo, said the donation will boost practical training at the DVLA's Center for Skills Development. He says many crashes involving heavy-duty vehicles could be avoided with better training and adherence to global safety standards. With over 2,500 road fatalities recorded in Ghana in 2025, the need is urgent. To help close the gap, TransAid UK will also train 6 DVLA examiners in the coming weeks as part of its continued support for road safety in Ghana.
This donation comes at a particularly important time. It reinforces the progress made since 2021 to improve professional driver training in Ghana and places the DVLA in an even stronger position to build the capacity of its examiners while providing a standard vehicle for assessing F-class license applicants. On behalf of TransAid, I would like to express our gratitude to Iveco for this timely and generous contribution.
The Chief Executive of DVLA says government has tasked the authority to reset public confidence in how drivers and vehicles are licensed and regulated in Ghana. He thanked TransAid UK for the timely gesture, saying partnerships like this are critical to delivering on that mandate and making Ghana's road safer.
We as an authority need a permanent vehicle that belongs to us in training these drivers. TransAid UK came to our aid to provide one of the tracks to us. As an authority, we look at our best to also add other number to it so that it wouldn't be only in Accra.
Acting Director of Vehicle Inspection and Registration, Mr. Kwesi Bona Otuo Sribo noted that the gesture comes at a critical time as the DVLA pushes ahead with major reforms. The event brought together government agencies in the transport sector, transport associations, training institutions, driving instructors, and other stakeholders in a show of support for safer driving in Ghana.
Now, the 60th annual convention of Ahmadiyya Muslim community has ended in the United Kingdom with a call on Ahmadis to renew their faith and justice, dialogue, and service to humanity. A report by Ibrahim Kwatin.
Today is the last day of the 60th annual convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, which is taking place at Alton, Hampshire in the United Kingdom. What makes today special is the occasion of the Bayat. It is an emotional occasion where members of the community dedicate and rededicate themselves to the ideals of the community.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu